Hello and welcome in our YouTube channel Metallurgical Facts. So in this video series we are doing metallurgical engineering question practice for GATE 2021. So this video series is basically dedicated to GATE Metallurgy GATE 2021 aspirants. So this is part 6 of this video series, and before this we already uploaded 5 parts of this video series, and those video series are very beneficial for practicing purpose of metallurgical engineering questions. So if you are going to appear in GATE 2021, please go through our playlist Gate Metallurgy, and also you may go through our playlist of RINL Vizag Management Trainee. So in those in these two playlists, I have uploaded previous year questions. So previous year questions of Gate Metallurgy, and also I tried to add few more questions, few new questions. So those questions will be beneficial for your practicing purpose, and you may avoid silly mistakes by doing these videos by practicing questions for gate metallurgy. So the first question is, cementation is defined as. So four options are: precipitation of a metal from an aqueous solution. B part is gaseous reduction of metal from aqueous solution. C part is electrolytic dissociation of aqueous solution, and D part is electrolytic dissociation of metallic solution. Okay, so these are the four options, and we need to choose among these the correct answer. So the question is cementation. So what is cementation? Cementation is basically a topic which comes under the hydrometallurgy part, and this cementation is basically uh, uh, used for purification, or you may say purification or recovery, for recovery of metal ions, for recovery of metal ions. Okay, and how we can recover metal ions from a solution. So this recovery of metal ions recovery of metal ions is done through this cementation process, and this cementation process is basically a type of precipitation. Okay, so this is also a type of precipitation. So basically, suppose if we are having a aqueous solution, and in this aqueous solution we have metal ions. Okay, particular metal ions. So what will happen in this cementation process? These metal ions will precipitate in from on another metal. Okay, from aqueous solution. So this cementation process is basically a precipitation of metal ions, precipitation of metals from an aqueous solution. Okay, from an aqueous solution, or sometimes they may say that leach liquor. So this solution, basically this solution, this aqueous solution, we will get after the leaching process. Okay, so this is the totally hydrometallurgy part, and the correct answer for this question is precipitation of metal from an aqueous solution is known as cementation. So A part is correct. Okay, so other methods for recovery of metal ions are solvent extraction, solvent extraction. These are the other method. Ion exchange. Okay, ion exchange, cementation, ion exchange, solvent extraction, and some membrane processes are also there. Okay, so these are the processes, and also the gaseous reduction. Gaseous reduction is also a part of this purification or recovery of metal ions from leach liquor or from aqueous solution. So A part is correct for this question. So the next question is the Larson-Miller parameter P. So this Larson-Miller parameter is denoted by this P, connecting the temperature T and the rupture time TR is given as. Okay, so they are asking for this Larson-Miller parameter formula, and in one of the video dedicated to this Larson-Miller parameter, in which I already discussed the numerical problem of Larson-Miller parameter. So I will suggest you go through that video. I will put the link in I button. Okay, so this Larson Miller parameter is basically connected with this temperature and TR in relationship. How? I told you that PTCT PTCT formula. Okay, so P is equals to T, P is equals to T, and we will take ln here. P is equals to T C plus ln, and we can find like that. Okay, so this T is rupture time. Okay, so what is the formula? P is equals to T C plus ln TR. So this is the formula. This is the formula which is related to this Larson Miller parameter, and this P is basically Larson Miller parameter. This T is temperature, this C is a constant. Okay, and this constant will have a value 46. Okay, and this ln tr is rupture time. So we can find this Larsen-Miller parameter from this formula. So from here, which answer is correct? So the option A is P is equals to ln Tr minus Ct. So this is wrong because we are having plus sign in this formula. So C part is P is equals to C minus T by Tr. So this is also wrong. P is equals to T ln Tr. So this is also wrong. So what is correct answer? B part. So here B part is correct, and also I told you a numerical based on this formula. So please go through that video. So the next question is, in sheet metal forming, stretcher strains occurs in. So these are the four options: duralumin sheets. This is basically aluminum magnesium alloys. Okay, and low carbon stainless low carbon steel sheets. C part is austenitic stainless steel, and D part is nickel based alloy steels. Okay, so they are asking about this stretcher strains. These stretcher strains are basically due to the Luder bands, and you can say the localized heterogeneous type of transition from elastic to plastic deformation produces the yield point, and that is the cause of stretcher strains. And these stretcher strains are also known as Luder bands. Okay, or these are the some other names of these stretcher strains. They may ask Luder bands in the form of Luder bands, or they also say that Hartmann lines. So this is also known as Hartmann lines, and this deformation is basically known as Pio-Burt effect. Okay, so Pio-Burt effect is basically related to this yield point elongation or yield point phenomena. You must have studied this topic in mechanical metallurgy. Okay, so for detailing, you can read that mechanical metallurgy book, and you will get a curve for this yield point phenomena, and also yield point and strain aging. This is also known uh, as a strain aging. Okay, so Pio-Burt effect is basically the deformation which causes this Luder bands and Hartmann lines or stretcher strains. So these are the same names: stretcher strains, Luder bands, or Hartmann lines. Okay, so in this question they are asking in which alloys this stretcher strains occurs in this sheet metal forming processes. Okay, so this is very important question, because these structural strains basically generates irregularities. Okay, so this will generate the irregularities on the surface of sheet or sheet surface. Okay, and that will be the defect. Okay, so this destroys the surface finish basically. So here these are the options. So the correct answer for this question is B part, that is low carbon steel sheets. And in some of the duralumin alloys, in some of the aluminum magnesium alloys, this structural strains happen. So if you may consider this A option as correct answer if this question is MSQ type of question. Okay, and if they will not give it this in MSQ's form, you can choose low carbon steel. However, this structural strains happens in these both, and some confusions are still there. Okay, but is this A and B part is correct here in this question, and this C and D is wrong. Okay, so this nickel based alloy is basically super alloys, and in this super alloys only creep phenomena is a point which we need to consider. Okay, so this A and B part is correct in this. So the next question is matching type of questions. We have group first and this is group second. So in this group first, they have given some process name, that is magnetic separation, grinding, classification, filtration, and here this some processes of ore dressing is given, that is comminution, concentration, dewatering, and sizing. I have discussed many times in our previous video. Maybe this question is repeated also, but this question is very nice, and you may learn many things from this question, because this is basically whole mineral processing. This covers basically whole mineral processing part. Okay, so you may see that combination is there, concentration is there, sizing is there, dewatering is there. Okay, so how to match this type of questions? I already told you, you need to write like that PQRS, and you need to generate your own code instead of running behind these options. Okay, so this is the best way of doing matching type of questions, best way of avoiding silly mistakes, because in sometimes in gate exam, due to the pressure, you will find the correct answer, but in options you will choose the wrong, and that will be the wrong answer. Okay, so this P is magnetic separation, and this magnetic separation is basically concentration process. So P we can match by 2. What are the other concentration method? That is froth flotation process. Okay, so froth flotation process is also a concentration method, or you may say gravity separation. Okay, gravity separation process, froth flotation process, magnetic separation, electrostatic separation. So these all are the concentration process. Okay, so P we can match by 2. The B part is the Q is grinding. Grinding is basically a combination type of combination. So combination you may classify it into two parts, that is grinding and crushing. Okay, so this grinding is a part of this combination, and further you can classify this grinding in primary crushing and primary secondary crushing and tertiary crushing, so on. And there are many other equipments in some of the matching type of questions I already discussed, and in upcoming videos I will discuss more about these things. So please try to write down these things step by step. The R part is classification. So classification is basically sizing. Okay, so classification is sizing. So R we can match by 4. Okay, so this sizing is basically done on the basis of density and sizes both. So in which we use this density and size both consider we consider both things, so that is known as classification. Okay, and this filtration, in just previous video I discussed about this filtration is dewatering process. Okay, so in this filtration we separate solid parts from the liquid parts. So this is known as filtration. So this dewatering is all other methods for dewatering is thermal drying and coagulation. I have already discussed in previous video thermal drying, coagulation, and also sedimentation is also a part of this dewatering part, and this all part is comes under this mineral processing or ore dressing part. So what we are having code that 2 1 2 1 4 3. So now we can match the options. So options which is starting other than this 2, we can cross those options. So A part is wrong, D part is wrong. We are having two options now, that is B and D. So Q part is 1, we are having 1, but here in B part this Q is 4, so we can cross this option and C part is correct. Okay, so how we can eliminate the options, how we can choose the correct answer, this is a way of doing way of avoiding silly mistakes basically. Okay, so this C part is correct for this question. So the next question is NAT type of questions, and this question is very easy, but I have chosen this question because people do mistakes in this type of questions. You won't believe, but people do mistakes, and this question is basically of 2 marks. Okay, so this is easiest question in GATE exam. So this question is basically related to the Sievert's law, and I already discussed in previous video, but here I will again discuss about the Sievert's law. Sievert's law is basically for diatomic gases, that is diatomic gases which is dissolved in liquid stills in extractive metallurgy. Okay, if we are using this law in extractive metallurgy, so we will talk about this liquid steel and this diatomic gases like H2 N2. Okay, so we will see the question. In vacuum degassing of steel, 14 ppm of dissolved nitrogen is in equilibrium with 1 millibar of nitrogen gas at 1873 Kelvin. Okay, so at the same temperature, if the pressure is lowered to 0.7 millibar, the equilibrium nitrogen content in ppm. Okay, so what is the Sievert's law? Sievert's law is basically for diatomic gases, and this X is basically composition or content, that is gas dissolved content. Okay, so X is equals to K under root of P. So this P is partial pressure, this X is gases dissolved. So this is the quantity, or you can say the concentration, and this K is Sievert constant, and this P is partial pressure. Okay, so how we can find this question? This question is very easy. So this is the formula which is applicable for this question. So in this question they have given 14 ppm of dissolved nitrogen is in equilibrium with 1 millibar of nitrogen gas. So x1 value is given, x1 is 14 ppm. Okay, and the pressure for this x1 is given, that is 1 millibar, that is in equilibrium with 1 millibar of nitrogen gas at this temperature. Okay, the next thing is that at the same temperature, means temperature is constant, if the pressure is lowered to 0.7, means they are saying that P2 is 0.7 millibar. So what will be the value of this x2? Okay, so we need to find this x2. So we need not to change this parts per million, because we can use the same units, because we are going to take the ratios of this formula, because this is the constant, so this will get cancelled. So from here we will find the question like that, equation like that: x1 is equals to k under root of p1. This is first equation, and the second equation is x2 is equals to k under root of p2. So I am doing step by step, but this is necessary for avoiding silly mistakes. Okay, so we will take the ratio of these two. So x1 by x2 is equals to k will cancel, and we'll get p1 by p2. So now we will put the value. So x1 we know this is 14. Okay, so x1 value is given, that is 14, and x2 we need to find. So from here p1 is 1 millibar and this p2 is 0.7. So so this is easy calculation. So x2 we can get 14 multiplied by root 7 by root 10. Okay, so x2 will be equals to 11.7 millibars. Okay, sorry, this is in ppm. Sorry, this is my mistake. Okay, so what is the answer? Answer is x2, that is x2 is equals to 11.7 ppm at 0.7 millibars. Okay, so this is the easy concept. You need to remember this formula. This formula is very important. This is the easy formula, but you may get the questions from this question, from this equation. So this is basically known as Sievert's law, and Sievert's law is basically for diatomic gases which is dissolved in liquid steels. Okay, which is dissolved in liquids, basically you can say. Okay, so this x1 and x2 is given, p1 and p2 is given, so we will put the value and we will get the answer. So this is the easy question. So answer is 11.7. You will get the range like that, 11.6 to 11.8. That is average of these two values. Okay, so answer is 11.7 ppm. Thank you guys for your attention. Hope you have understood these concept. Hope you have understood these questions, and also we will come with some more questions in our upcoming videos. Please have some patience, because I have already many works to do. So in between these works I will try to upload more and more videos as much as I can do before the gate exam. So please try to focus on your studies and try to prepare for gate exam, which is after 1 month. Okay, so thank you, and subscribe our channel, press bell icon for getting notification. Thank you.